Who's here for the first time today? Stand up, you guys, because we want to see you first. Wow. Fantastic. It's great to see you all here, and we really appreciate you giving up a Saturday. I'm sure there would be many other things that you could be doing today, but you made the commitment to be with us, and we really appreciate that. And we hope that during the course of today, you get a real sense of what the Forever opportunity is, how this opportunity, if you stay focused and work, it could change your life as it's changed the lives of literally tens of thousands of people around the world. And I'd like to start our day, as I always do, by just giving a little bit of a brief background, a little bit of our history, so that those of you who perhaps don't know too much about us can put into context what our day is about. And our day is about celebrating success. It's about recognizing people in the audience that have had the courage to take more control of their lives, to start their own business, working for themselves under the umbrella of an organization that has successfully provided home-based opportunities for 35 years. And, you know, it does take courage to take your own future into your hands. And I know from the journey that I've had with Forever and talking to lots and lots of distributors each week, sometimes it can be challenging because not always do we get the support and encouragement from the people around us that we hoped we might. And that can be really critical in the early days when perhaps you don't yet have the belief that this business can deliver for you. What I hope you get today is a sense that people from all backgrounds and all walks of life are making a successful career with Forever. And if they can do it, why can't you do it? And I hope that you'll join us in recognizing our people today. And I know that a recognition culture like Forever's is slightly unusual. If you've come from a normal corporate world, probably the only recognition you get is more of a negative nature. I know from talking to people each week, they say, oh, the only time my boss recognizes me when I'm late for work, rather than all the good work that I do through the year. And we believe in encouraging people every step of the way, encouraging them to see that within each of us is a greatness. And sometimes it's just about building our own belief in ourselves and in our own ability to be great. And we encourage people to be on that journey, week in, week out, that journey of continual development. What's that phrase? You're either green and growing or ripe and rotten. Is that right? My mentor uses that very often. He said, we should always see ourselves as a work in progress rather than the finished item. And I believe Forever gives us that environment to do that. And whilst in all of our presentations around the country, when we're talking to potential Forever distributors, we talk, of course, about the income opportunities, the fact that you can earn from a few pounds a week, if that's all you want, up to tens of thousands a week. We've created many millionaires within Forever from exactly the same business model. You'll never get a letter from Forever saying you've got to work harder. When you look in the mirror in the morning, you're looking at the boss. And that can be scary some mornings, but liberating most mornings. So this is a story of a business that started 35 years ago. Our founder, Rex Morn, had a vision way back then that he wanted to be in control of his destiny. He gave up a very serious, well-established corporate career to start Forever. And I know from having spent some time with Rex that way back then his friends and family thought he was crazy, giving up the so-called security of a corporate career to become entrepreneurial. And I'm sure many of us in this room have had exactly the same feedback from our friends and family when we decided to join Forever. I'd love to be in a room with some of Rex's friends and family now, wouldn't you? Those very same people who said 35 years ago he was crazy to think of building something for himself. They must be eating humble pie, as they say now, because this business now spans the globe. We're still a family business with family values, and many of the board of directors that we have today are the original board of directors we had over 3 decades ago. And of course, sitting alongside them now, the younger guys who will be our succession, one of which is Rex's son, Greg, who's our president. And whilst Rex still has very much a day-to-day interest in Forever, certainly Greg has more of the day-to-day control now. We operate in over 150 countries, and what that means, if you're looking at our business as a business opportunity is that we're not just sharing with you today something that you could build locally. You can do, of course, if you wish. You're your own boss. But equally, you can build it nationally and internationally. And there are many of our distributors in the room today that have very well established international businesses. And I believe it's easier to do that now than it's ever been. With the advent of technology, we can speak to people all around the globe. We can Skype them or any of the other technology that exists to have face-to-face conversations and training meetings with people scattered right across the globe. And it's that very technology that's driving much of our business now in order for us to connect more easily with people all around us. This is a stable business. It's cash-rich. It's debt-free. We have no borrowings anywhere. We have a lot of assets, much of it prime property. Longbridge Manor would be a good example of that, our head office here in the UK, which is a beautiful Grade 2 listed building, and that's a part of a huge portfolio. And Rex's original background was property, and it's still his passion today, and he spends our profits buying properties all around the world, and that underpins our business. $2.6 billion worth of sales globally, about 40 million at retail in the UK, and so far this year we're close to 30% up on our turnover, so we should have that at over 50 million by the end of the year. Yeah, exactly, which would be, give yourselves a round of applause. Be a fantastic achievement. Having said that, still not scratched the surface of what's possible in the UK. So if you are here for the first time today, don't be put off by the fact there's 1,800 of us in the room. I can tell you, if you walk down any high street in Britain actually, and I know this from travelling around, most people still have not heard of Forever Living products. We're still the best kept secret, and I'd love to change that. For me on this slide, the most important statement is the last one, consistent growth. We've continued to grow through recessions, through good times. We have a really robust business model that performs irrespective of the country's economies. We've certainly seen around Europe in the last 3-4 years in particular an acceleration in our growth. And I believe that's because we're riding some really powerful trends, one of which is more and more people arriving at the conclusion that they need to have more control over their financial future. And it's very hard to get that control if you are an employee. It would be difficult in most businesses in the UK to expect to be able to go into your boss and say, I think I'm worth more. I'd like 10, 20, 30% pay increase. Those things are not, for the most part, happening in the UK. Many people are getting pay increases that are just about keeping up with inflation. When you own your own business, you can set your own agenda. There are many, many people in this room that are achieving outstanding growth this year. Not tens, but hundreds of % growth. And that's the freedom and the flexibility that you have when you own your own business, but when you have a business that also has a lot of support with it. So we're trading since '93 and still the best kept secret that we want to change, and we'd like your help in doing that. We're riding some really powerful trends, and I'd like to share some of those trends with you now. The first of which is our marketplace, and probably the most significant change I've seen in our business, certainly in the last decade, is the awareness that there is now about health. I challenge you to open any daily newspaper today or turn on the news without some reference to our health. Of course, with the internet, people can research any health issues that they have. And this has led to a boom in our industry, more and more people looking for safe, natural products, either to maintain health or help them with health challenges. We talked about the weight loss industry growing year on year, the sports nutrition industry growing year on year. Even the personal care sector is growing year on year as our population also expands. And this is a fantastic opportunity for you and I as distributors to have access to a range of products that are world-class, that are cutting edge, that do what it says on the tin, and be able to share them with the confidence that the company has a money-back guarantee on them. And so all around us are prospects that can become customers and indeed can become team members. And if you look at some of the figures in the marketplaces that we service, these are not small marketplaces. They're worth already millions, if not billions, and they're growing year on year. We have products that fit into all of those categories, and each year we reinvest millions of dollars of our profits into research and development, and we bring out new cutting-edge products each year that enable you and I to go and share products with existing customers. The strength of our business is that our products work. And in any Forever meeting around the country, when you ask the question, how many people came into Forever having first had a really positive experience with the products, it's a fairly high percentage. For the benefit of our guests, let's try that today. How many of you came into Forever having first been a customer of Forever and got a great result with the product? Okay, put the lights up just 1 second, guys, if we can. Maybe a third of the room, at least. The significance of that, if you're looking at this as an opportunity, is that we get a strong emotional attachment from our customer base and from our distributors to our products. And that means that we have a strong residual income as distributors as we build teams that in turn build customer bases. The next area of growth for us is the products. We now fully control our manufacturing. We're vertically integrated. We opened up a couple of years ago a new nutraceutical business that means that we now produce all of our own nutritional supplements. We've always been vertically integrated in aloe, literally owning the plantations through to the stabilization facilities, the manufacturing facilities. We have a global patent on a process that keeps our aloe live in the bottle, and that's a unique selling point for us. As I mentioned, the company offers a 60-day unconditional money-back guarantee, and that should give all of us the confidence to be able to share these products with people that we know and love on the basis that if they don't work, they can bring them back. Less than half of 1% of our product comes back under that money-back guarantee. What I can tell you is that the product doesn't come back, but the people come back. Very often saying, not only do I want some more for myself, I'd love some for my aunt, uncle, neighbour. And that's how our Forever business grows. The next driver is the driver I already mentioned about. That is more and more people now looking to get more control over their income. Our method of distribution, this person-to-person business that's called team marketing or network marketing or multi-level marketing. And I can tell you that in this last week we've had another significant breakthrough in terms of being able to educate our politicians. I was happy to have lunch with some of my Direct Selling Association colleagues in the House of Commons a week last Thursday. The lunch was hosted by Toby Perkins. He's the Shadow Minister for Small Business, and he has come to learn in the last month or two a lot about our industry, so he hosted a lunch to which he invited some of his ministerial colleagues. It enabled us to share with them the scale of our industry, the size of our industry, the fact that through the UK we are providing home-based opportunities, we're providing an opportunity for people to become entrepreneurial, and that very much is the government agenda, to have people back in work or finding meaningful employment for themselves. It's very interesting to hear some of the feedback from the politicians who, for the most part, are still completely unaware of our industry. But month by month, we're trying to change that. We managed to get a great video piece from Toby, who said some really complimentary words about the association, and hope to have that to show you at the big event in October, and release it also on the internet for you. So it's a method of distribution that's recognized worldwide. It's a highly regulated industry. It's fast growing, not just within Forever, but globally. And it's a business without borders, because as business owners, we have that flexibility to build a business wherever we like. 9 million people involved around Europe in our industry, with close to 500,000 across the UK and Ireland, and more and more people now recognising that this is a relatively inexpensive way of getting into business for themselves. And if you couple that with the fact that our business has a blueprint that people can follow, and it also has a money-back guarantee on the products, this is a very low risk to high reward proposition. And that was one of the points that the politicians last week commented on, that compared to buying a franchise or compared to starting your own business, this was really, really inexpensive. And at the same time came with it mentoring from people who'd done exactly the same business before, so that you can be mentored by somebody who's really experienced in building their own home-based business. Imagine the opportunity for that. in a wider world. Starting a conventional business and having Alan Sugar or Richard Branson or somebody like that to give you some advice. It's the same in our industry. Our leaders here today are happy to share what's worked for them with you. And that's the sort of support and encouragement that you get when you start your own business with Forever. The result of that is we're seeing people moving through our marketing plan, achieving levels of income we've never seen before as fast as we've seen before. And they come from all backgrounds, all walks of life, they're all ages. The diverse range of ages now involved in Forever is absolutely amazing, from people joining straight from school or university at 18, 19, 20 years of age. We've got a growing sector of young people growing there, to people in their later years, some of which are doing their Forever business so that they can supplement their pension. Others are doing their Forever business because they just love helping others and be able to be involved in something that's meaningful. I believe one of the strengths of our business is the fact that we invest very heavily each year into support and training, and that enables us to share the information with people who've never done anything like this before. And I would guess that 80–90% of the people who join Forever have never been in business for themselves before, never done anything like this before. And so the support and training is really important. That support and training takes place on a really local basis because you're introduced into Forever by your sponsor. They're motivated to help you, as is their upline. And then you have an infrastructure of support around the country of live meetings that you can go to on the products, on how to build a business, meetings that you can bring your guests to share with them what our opportunity is all about. And if you layer that with team meetings that go on, with communications that come on from head office, with our interactive website, with learning on it, there's no reason, wherever you are, why you can't get the information you need in order to learn about how to become an entrepreneur and how to build a business with Forever. We're now in our 4th term of Investor in People at champion status. That's the highest level that you can get. And what I love about that status is that this is an independent government body that was set up years ago to recognise companies that train their staff and their sales teams well. And we fit into that category. Whilst our sales teams, you guys are all independent and all self-employed, it's part of the evaluation process. And so we should be really proud of that and share that with our guests, because I can tell you there are many, even blue chip companies in the UK that struggle to get investors in people. And as I already mentioned, we're very active members of the Direct Selling Association. We've signed up to a very strict code of conduct to become members of that, and I'm very proud of the strong ethical base that comes from the association. And that association is committed to putting our industry on the map, taking away all those negative comments that we sometimes get, one of which I got from an MP last week who said to me, "How's the pyramid selling industry going?" So I looked at him, I said, didn't one of your governments in 1970-something bring in a law against pyramid selling? He said, "Yeah, we did." I said, "Well, how could we be in the pyramid selling business if it's illegal?" "Well, I didn't quite mean it like that," he said. "I didn't know how else to describe it." But these are some of the things that we need to overcome over the coming years, and that's one of the key drivers for the Direct Selling Association. And we're doing that by spending more and more money on events like we had last week, on PR. We now have, in the last year, close to 200 positive press articles on our industry. We've been in all of the major newspapers. We've been on the BBC News, and Forever has had more than its fair share of mentions in those articles. So we are changing opinions day by day. Let me introduce you to some of the team that help support each and every distributor around the country. The first team I want to introduce you to are our top team of VIPs, our leadership committee. These are people that have achieved everything on our marketing plan. They're our top distributors here in the UK. We meet on a regular basis and communicate on a very regular basis, and almost everything that we do by way of support material, trainings, point of sale, has an influence and commitment from the leadership group. And what I love about Forever in particular is this willingness to share best practice so that you can literally easily find out what the leading distributors have done and do each day in order to build their business. And that means it's very easy for us to copy that and build a successful business ourselves. I'd encourage you today, if you're here for the first time, to go and say hi to some of the leadership committee, find out about their backgrounds and find out, what useful information they can share with you that'll just help you fast track your business. So if I could ask our leadership committee to stand, and let's recognize them for the great job that they do. Thank you, guys. The broader VIP group, and these are comprised of our course leadership committee, our ADDs, the advisory board, anybody who was Eagle manager last year, our top 50 distributors in the UK by total volume and top 20 by what we call open volume. Ask the person who invited you here to explain the difference between the two. And anybody who picked up a really, really significant part of our marketing plan, and that is the chairman's bonus. Each year in the qualifying countries, the country has to be a certain size in turnover to qualify, but there are about, I think, 80 countries maybe in this now. We put 3% of our turnover into a separate fund, and that now is shared globally by qualifying distributors. And earlier on in the year, in April, we were in Hawaii to hand out the checks from last year, $21 million given away in 3 half-day sessions. You'd got to see it to believe it when you were there. I can tell you from the first day session when the smaller checks were $2,000, $3,000, which, I don't know about you, I think that's a significant amount of money. Not many people I know are getting $3,000 from their boss at Christmas. They might be getting a turkey at best, don't you think? $3,000 just as a thank you for helping contribute towards Forever, for working hard for the last year and achieving some objectives. And then we went through the tens of thousands, the hundreds of thousands. Our top distributors, John and Jane, $800,000, and then the top distributors around the globe, $1.1 million. Imagine that. I think close to 800 recipients of checks from around the globe, but $1.1 million, $800,000, $100,000 as a thank you each year. That's significant money in anybody's eyes. And what I love about that is that for the most part, those people are still working from home, have no staff, have no stock, have no premises. Most of the people that I know that earn anywhere near that have a whole wealth of infrastructure to create that. Would you agree? Staff, premises, they're here, there and everywhere. They've got leases, they've got all sorts of stuff. And what I love about Forever, we have none of that. And that means that we have a very, very profitable business. So let's hear it for our Forever VIPs. If they'd like to stand, let's recognise them for their great contribution. Thank you, guys. You'll see these guys today, they have a black lanyard with a black card on. Get to talk to them about their journey, and that will inspire you, I'm sure. Another great support for us is our advisory board, who are in their own right successful distributors. That's one of the things I really love about our advisory board. They're not just sharing with us technical knowledge about the products, but they've actually built a business themselves, and I think that's really useful to us. Starting with Dr. Peter Atherton, our resident GP, who is the author of 3 books now, and certainly his latest book, which you will have got if you've bought the NDP pack to get started, you should read it because it gives you a real insight into the power of the aloe vera plant. And of course, we've not invented anything new here. The plant's been around for thousands of years, used by most of the major civilizations, and there's a great deal of technical information in there. There's some scientific stuff in there, but there's really a great feeling about why we should use aloe each day, give you a real sense of the power of that. So if Peter's in the room, let's recognise Peter for the great job he does. I've seen him somewhere. There he is. Thank you, Peter. David is our resident vet, and our products work extremely well on animals. We've got a growing marketplace, particularly in the horse world, for our products. I love talking to David because he said, it's so much easier dealing with the animals. I bet you've never had a letter from a horse complaining about the taste. So strangely enough, David, we haven't, no. But, if that's an area that you'd like to develop, David can help you with that. Again, with some great scientific knowledge as to why this product works well on animals, and we've got stacks of anecdotal evidence, not from animals, but from animal owners. So, David, where are you? Let's recognise you for the great job you do. There you are. Thanks, David. Dawn is our resident skincare and nutritional specialist. We've got a fantastic skincare range and a growing range of nutritional supplements that keep us healthy, help people manage particular conditions through nutrition. And so if you want a sense of the power of the overall product range, Dawn's a great person to talk to about that. And all of our advisory board hold regular trainings around the country, and in particular at Longbridge Manor. And in the early days, I'd encourage you to go to some of those trainings to get a real sense of the power of the product range. So where's Dawn today? Let's thank Dawn. Thank you, Dawn, for the great job you do. Supporting our advisory board, we have Louise, who recently has developed sports nutrition training for us alongside Peter. And, this is a growing marketplace for us, and it's a new program. I've seen a few run now at Longbridge Manor, and lots of great feedback from distributors. Again, an insight into a fairly untapped marketplace for us, but a marketplace that certainly in size is growing year on year. So, Louise, thanks for the great job you do. Where's Louise today? There she is. And then a team that supports us around the country, our area development directors, and wherever you are in the country, take a look on the map that's on the Forever Knowledge site, give you some information about the ADDs that are around your area, the sort of meetings that are going on, and they help us set up meetings the length and breadth of the country. We've probably got 40, 50 locations now in which we run some sort of meeting, opportunity meeting, or product training, or network skills training. So let's thank the ADDs for the great job that they do, if they'd like to stand. Thank you, guys. So if you're here for the first time, I hope that's given you a little insight into the world of Forever, a world that offers a secure opportunity, an opportunity for you not just to change your life, but to change the life of others. And I know from having been around the business for a relatively long period of time, that for many people in the room today, the most exciting part will be to see somebody that they sponsored into the business walk across this stage and get recognition. For many people, that'll be more meaningful than the bonus check, no matter how big the bonus check is, because it's great to think that you can build a business for yourself by helping others, and that's essentially what you're doing forever. It's impossible to build a big forever business without having positively influenced lots and lots of people along the way, and I applaud each and every person that's going to come across the stage today. This is a business that you can get rewarded for your hard work, and one of the great things about our business is this ability to build a pension style or residual style income, and that's pretty unique unless you happen to be a musician or an author. It's a part of our business that's attracting an increasing number of people to think that not only do we get paid for the work that we put in today, but we can continue to get paid for that work into the future. And there are many examples of this in this room, of people who, if they never worked another day in their life, would still receive a significant income from the work that they'd put in the past. And that's a really exciting part of our opportunity. And it's an opportunity that's not ageist or sexist or in any way religious. People from all backgrounds, all walks of life join Forever and find a supportive environment in which they can flourish. And we love that too, and we're going to see some great examples of that during the course of the day.